Our next speaker is Dr. Yoon, and he's going to be talking about an approach to customize haptic guidance for the aged power wheelchair riders.
Good morning. My name is Han. I'm from Texas A&M University College Station. So I'm working as a postdoc in the human rehab group. So actually, the weather is really nice here in College Station, even though it's September, but we have a couple of days over the 100 Fahrenheit last week. So it is really good. I can feel some cool breeze on my skin. So I'm starting with my talk talking about the skin because skin is a really good sensor. In addition to temperature, you can feel some mechanical stretch and stimulation on your skin. So this is a skin stretch device which is tweezing your lower arm when you controlling your computer mouse. And this device, right on the top, is made by UPenn. It's actually mimicking the actual type of the stretch, like pressing down and the stretching, tickling. The left one in the sorry. The left one is at bottom. It's a finger stretch device. So it is really amazing. It's done by our group. So when you have a light touch on the surface, it actually really improves your postural sway when you maintain the quiet standing. So this device will be very helpful for the cashier at the Kroger, which is the employee who spending a long time in the standing position. So this device to help the people which have a problem with to feel the stiffness of the object. So it's really surprising because somebody cannot feel the stiffness of this object. So like close your eyes, touching the object, they can never tell like which one is top and which one is rock. So it's so the usage of this feedback device is the two things. So when some people got the amputation of part of your body, we can substitute that part to apply the other stretch to the other part of their body. But today I want to emphasize more on the sensory feedback augmentation. So it's the providing the additional cue, except the visual or auditory feedback. So when you use the sensory augmentation device, there are some typical questions like, is sensory feedback augmentation device always help the people? Or where will be the better place to mount this kind of device? Or we can use a multiple number of these devices. Can the combination with the other types always helpful too? So actually, as we are human rehab group, we are working with nursing home with really silver-aged people. So it is kind of disappointing when they are losing their functionality of the doable daily activity like using a spoon, driving a car, sit and standing. So when they're losing their kind of functionality, actually they really got depressed. So our goal is developing a user-customized assistive system to as one application to guide the power wheelchair rider and protect their safety. So we're gonna apply two types of feedback. The first one is force feedback, and the second one is skin stretch feedback. So we're gonna identify the effect of this good or bad when it is acting on the wheelchair riders. So by describing the people as a feedback system, we have a visual scene. We're going to apply two types of feedback, force feedback and skin stretch. Then as a feedback, when you have a visual scene, if the black line is your current motor behavior, by applying the skin-related feedback, we want to achieve the desired motor control. So this is our assistive power wheelchair simulator. So subject to control the power wheelchair in the virtual reality environment by a joystick handle, and they receive a force feedback and skin stretch feedback. So component is we have a really wide screen and haptic joystick, and customly designed wearable skin stretch, which is an armband type of device, stretching your lower part of your lower arm. We have a cyber motor driver, which is controlled by wireless communication, because the other research is kind of related. The aged people really prone to fall down on the ground when they are sitting and standing on the wheelchair. So we have IMU data monitoring device as well here. So we want to wirelessly monitoring the IMU data too. So that's kind of the extension of this part of device. So anyway, I focused on the skin stretch just today. So this video is not working, but if I give an explanation, they are looking at the screen and manipulating the wheelchair. But this embedded type device kind of on the patent progress, so it's confidential, but you can focus on this black belt here. Actually, it is rotating clockwise and counterclockwise, and then provide the skin stretch on your lower arm. So this is the haptic device, which is pushing back and forth your palm side of your hand. So to guide the people, we need a machine assistance algorithm. So in real-world situation, the rider is driving his wheelchair on the road. Actually, the environmental sensing can be done in a laser finder or camera data and do the data processing. Then machine algorithm to set an alternative policy to help the people. So graphically, they provide the reference path and skin stretch and the guiding force for the haptic handle. So to set an alternative policy, we use a Bustle picture. So this red dot is the center of this guiding path. So as you more deviate from the reference trajectory, the intensity will be monotonically increased to urge the people. So setting an alternative policy is to determine these three parameters of Bustle picture, which is width and reference trajectory and maximum intensity. So if we just set our alternative policy gently, we can set up this gentle notch, or we can set this deep notch too. So now I'm talking about the instance policy customization. So, so to briefly introducing about the optimal control concept. So if we have two different functions, it generates on two different paths. So here is the person A. He really cares about the, I really don't like to get further from the top. From the starting point to get the top, he directly go from the bottom to the top. But the person B actually care about the pure consumption. Compared to the distance to the top, they're gonna take a path like this spiral. For the weight sense, the person A's policy has a really big weight on a W2, and the person B's policy can be represented by he has a big weight on W1. So normally the optimal control is when this cost is given, it generated the optimal path. But otherwise, the inverse optimal control is if we have some paths by the obtaining some experiment data from the human subject demonstration, then we estimate their cost, which is estimating this weight. So we to represent human strategy, we employ this cost function, which has a basic function as effort to change the speed, change steering, and distance to the obstacle presence boundary, and distance to the obstacle free boundary. After estimating this pole weight, then we make a picture which can describe the human behavior data. Can be a ratio to penalize speed over steering. Actually, it's related to how the curvature of the path is curvy. Then the boundary preference and the ratio between the control effort over the collision avoidance effort of the people. So now if we picturing the human strategy, we can express this human strategy as a sample point in the picture space F. So if we have a picture space, if we have a known export data, then we can use that export data as a 3 centroid, like a k number of centroid for the KNN algorithm. So here we have 3 expert, which has a different strategy. Then we have a subject. So by applying K nearest neighbor algorithm, we can clustering the subject to the expert, which has the most similar strategy as they have. So from the preliminary study, we have selected an expert who can expect to help the aged people at best. So further in the same group of aged people, we pick the one aspect and set up the virtual picture parameter as a function of the picture value. So now I'm going to talk about how can we define the optimal position of this device. This is one of our preliminary research tools. We have two actuators. The one actuator rotating AP, which is the front and back end direction of your body. The other one is rotating medial and lateral direction, which is left and right side of your body. So our question by applying these two different actuation, our research question was if these two actuators rotating different speed and intensity, can people perceive this stretch pattern as a diagonal stretch? That was our question. So to do that, so we block the other information just by putting the headphone there, so because they can know the speed of motor by hearing the spin sound. So we have a two-band type the actuator, which can be fully wirelessly controlled. We have a full chart here. It has a weak, medium, and strong intensity 3 level as a size of the radius, and the 8 direction. So there are 24 stretch patterns, which is repeated by 5 times, 120 total trials. So what they were told to do was, they are pointing, when they got the stretch pattern, they are pointing out discrete one point to their chart. So for example, the 3 people by the color, notated by color, pick the point like this. We use a maximum likely estimation overlapping on the chart. So by get the stretch and stretch pattern, we use a maximum likely estimation to get the distribution across all the subject. The reason we to do that, if some stretch pattern was given, most people feel like the same way, which is denoted by this sim band. It means is applied by you or me or the other person. They are perceived like almost the same way. But if it has like a big covariance distribution, we can need to remapping or rewarping to use this type of stretch motion. So the bottom line is by this this stretch pattern is corresponding to we only rotating the one motor. So unfortunately, when we rotating 2 motor, people used to get confused. So should be rotating one motor at the low one position, which is a muscular skeletal nerve is passing by. So here. So now go back to our experiment, wheelchair experiment. So we recruit a subject, 15 subjects. They are all healthy elderly subjects. Actually, 2 of them like shivering their hand a little bit, but they are still healthy. So age like about 73 years old. So 4 scenario was given, which one has a obstacle in one side, had a rock, holes, Indian cart, and trash cans. So the given task was they needed to pass around this obstacle, and there was a goal like marked by a white brick on the street. They reached to the goal. That was their task. So the protocol is we briefly explain them like virtual reality simulator and the experimental procedures. Then practice time was given, but the purpose of this practice is not to training them, because to make them familiar with our developed simulator. So to prevent the learning effect, the maximum is like not over the 5 minutes. So there are 4 different assistant modes were applied to the subject, as we have a haptic handle and skin stretch device. So NA stands for no assistant at all. H stands for haptic feedback only. S stands for skin stretching only. HS stands for pulse and skin stretch feedback was applied. So we have 4 different scenarios and 4 assistant mode and 3 repetition of those of combinations. So we have 4 multiplied by 3. 48 trial is quite tough trial for the aged people. So the sequence was randomized. So we employ the safety-related performance metric to evaluate their performance. So first one is quality of achievement. So when they passing around the obstacle successfully, then reach to the goal, they got a 2 point. When they passing around the obstacle but make a collision at the road boundary after passing the obstacle, they got a 1 point. If they fail the task, either hitting the obstacle or either hitting the rope, and before the passing the obstacle, they got a 0 point. That was one metric. The second metric is minimum distance to obstacle. So the further from the obstacle is, the better when they are passing the obstacle. So it's a nice clue to check the safety while they're passing around the obstacle. The third one is mean deviation from the reference trajectory. So this metric is employed because when we got the machine algorithm help, it's not visible. Okay? So we should tell this given reference trajectory actually help the people or work against the people's control will. So we should identify this. So as it is a typical driving task, we put the completion time and variability as well. So to analyze this, we use a two-factor. One is a task, and second one is assistant mode. We perform the repeated measure ANOVA with a two-factor, task and assistant mode. And the significance level was set to 0.5. 0.05. So as a first metric, quality of achievement, so this is a kind of successful scoring. So the higher is the better. So I put the task as a factor to check the difficulty of this task level, but there are main effect, these two factor, but there is a Bonferroni pairwise comparison yielded any meaningful result in the task size. So for the rest of the slide, I'm gonna put more emphasis on our assistant mode. So this is no assistant, haptic, skin stretch, and both. So comparing this non-assistant condition as a baseline to the using this as a baseline, so you can see that this improvement, actually from the Bonferroni comparison, the significance was found. So between these two factors, no significant interaction effect was found, which is a good sign because applying our assistive method is work for generally, not for the just specific task, which is difficult. It works generally, so it's a good sign. So for the second metric, it's the minimum distance to obstacle. So the further is the better. So compared to the non-assisted condition, so when we applying the two feedback together, it showed some meaningful result. So, and no significant interaction effect are not found. So, for the third metric, mean deviation from the reference trajectory, to see whether our given reference trajectory work or not. So, by comparing with the baseline data, the significance was found when the both stretch are applied. So actually the performance of the skin stretch only is not better than non-assisted condition. But from this comparison, we can check there exists some kind of synergetic improvement when the skin stretch is combined by the haptic. So no significant interaction effect was found. So this was not the racing task, but I just want to check the completion time and variability. But there was no significant main effect was found. So even though in the term of the mean, this is the faster, but as there is no significant main effect, this is not this has not specific meaning. So as a summary, we employed two different type of feedbacks to improve the subjective performance. So compared to the baseline data, there was a significant improvement found in terms of quality of achievement, minimum distance to obstacle, and mean deviation from the reference trajectory. So we think by this figure, applying only haptic is corresponded to this picture, or applying only skin stretch device corresponding to this picture. So when the people get helped by these two directional assistant feedback, maybe this can improve the people's performance at most. So maybe more directional, providing more directional movement on the part of our body, if it is reasonable and corresponding to intuition, our our body movement, we expect that that can improve the people's performance. So for the future work, we're going to apply the same method to the steering wheel control, which is the driving task. So in that case, we have two skin stretch devices at the control lateral side, which is it has to be intuitive like actual people movement. So this stretch is from top and bottom for the both sides, and we're going to check the effect of the two type of stretching. Then considering more type of sensory augmentation, which can generate the synergetic movement. So like for the driving task, the vibration handle can handle the additional sensory cue, or the backseat of the car, which is a good place to provide the additional cue. Anyway, so this is the end of our talk. So thanks for listening. Any questions?